Hey guys, let's talk about 4 candlestick patterns that you can use in any market, any time frame too. Stick around. Hey guys, warm welcome to you. Right, so one for you newer traders potentially, nothing that you old traders and old guard can't kind of research a little bit more and get a bit more locked down, and we can all do with kind of spending a bit more time on stuff that's working. And this stuff's good right now, guys. Who knows what happens next year? Who knows what happens in 10 years time or 10 weeks time? But you know, these patterns are, they're working well. They're working well. There's more to it than just obviously understanding the pattern, your risk reward ratio, where you take the trade, all this kind of stuff. If it was easy as the candlestick pattern, it would be super easy, but it's not. But this is a good starting point. It's definitely a good starting point. Okay, so here we have, I'm not going to kind of use the official textbook words for these and terminology. That's been done before. Loads of other people have done it. I've probably done videos on it, but I want to talk a little bit differently this time about thinking about what's actually happening with the pattern. Let's forget about the pattern. Let's think about the people behind the pattern, the people that are moving the price and the way it's moving. This one here, you know what this is called. If you know what this is called, guys, stick what it's called in the bottom and the comment section below. Number one is, you know what it is, put in the comment section below. But this is the type of pattern that is well worth watching. Imagine this was a daily candlestick, right? This daily candlestick has moved to lows, sellers have been aggressive, they pushed it through lows, and then for some reason, the whole sentiment has changed, bang, and we've pushed back up and we've closed at highs. It's color green on this one. So, that's a significant bit of information. That's giving us a little peek into the box and going, okay, well, there's some buyers there, some buyers that are super interested here. And our kind of theory from this is that subsequently we might well push higher. And when you start to combine it with things like, hey, this was a really big support level, you can basically say, hey, you know what, we have found a lot of buyers under that support. And if it's big volume, all these other things as well that we add to it, that's a super strong candlestick pattern. It's telling you something. It's super valuable information. Supply, demand, and balance is one way, and now it's the other way. And it's happened in a short time period, not just over a long kind of V-shaped bottom or a rolling bottom or a cup and handle that we might often get. This has happened in one candlestick. All right, so number 2, guys, let me know on this one in the comment section below, what's this one called? But let's talk about what's happened here as well. Here we have, and this specific one is probably more with stocks, because when there's a gap effect. If it wasn't a stock, you might have the open here, but in this case, we've got the open down here, the close here, high, low. What's happened here? Well, that's the pride day. Imagine this was a day. Got a pride day, a little bit of trade, and then we've gapped down. We've pushed lower, but again, we've had so much buying pressure that not only is it taking out the pride day and filled the gap, which is here, it's taken out the pride days high as well and got even higher. This is called, you know what, an Elise ripped up and said it then. That's just super useful as well, because again, this gives a little insight into who's in charge of this, who's taking control, where the money flow is coming from, who wants to do deals, who's prepared to be aggressive. That is an aggressive move. That is something to watch out for. And that's something we've had a lot, by the way, guys, in stocks. We've had stocks pushing up, and they've kind of pulled back, done this, and then they've done this. And the idea is it's going to push to new highs. That's a good one to kind of get locked down and understand that. This one here. So we have, let me know what this one is, guys. Number 3, what's number 3? Number 3, pushes down lower, lower, lower. Then we start to get this little incline up here. Now, this might not be textbook, but I love the supply demand effect of this. Again, let's assume we've got a daily chart here. What have we got? Selling, 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 selling. 2 days of buying, but look, these 2 days couldn't even get above the high of that last down day. What does that tell you? You don't need me to tell you this, guys. Supply demand imbalance is heavily swayed to the downside, and literally all people are waiting for, sellers is trying to get a higher price, and at some point those suckers are going to get impatient and they're going to start hitting those bids. And the idea of this is that we can roll down and go lower. And again, we've peeked into the box. These are all things we kind of get a little glimpse of what's going on. Super selling. Buyers aren't perceiving it as that much value. If they were, wouldn't it be right up here? They'd be like, wow, it was way down here, was there 3 days ago. Maybe they have a little bit, and sellers are thinking, I'm going to sell this, I still want it. Maybe they're selling a little bit, and at some point that buying drops off, dries up, and then we push lower. Super candlestick pattern, that one. Not had that so much to the downside recently, but the upside definitely. Now, number 4, this one again, imagine it's a daily chart. This is super common, and in fact you get this quite a lot in earnings. This is a Let me know in the comment section below. What's this type of gap? I know it's a gap, specific type of gap. And the idea is that we've got strength, strength, strength. And then on day 3, which is this one, we've gapped up and we've had no attempt to fill the gap whatsoever, or maybe a little attempt, and then we just literally run on again. That's a super idea that, or glimpse of supply demand imbalance, huge into demand coming in, massive demand, enough for it to gap up after a big move and then continue. You know, this is sometimes you get this on these low float stocks as well. Sometimes you get this when you've got a news catalyst. Sometimes you get this on earnings. Sometimes you get it on some of the currency pairs as well when you have some kind of real significant news that's moved the market. That's one to watch out for. You know, that kind of gap. And let me know what that gap is, guys, in the comment section below. I know you guys have got me on this one. This is the gap that you're looking for and go, okay, well, it's strong, strong, strong. And the things with this, it can feel a little bit chasey when you're buying. Yes, I get it, you know, we don't want to chase stuff too much. But, you know, honestly, when you've seen this type of strength, same with anything, as long as your risk is capped and as long as you have a stop at a sensible place, you know, when you see significant strength, there's nothing to say that strength can't continue for another 5 days, 6 days, 10 days, or whatever. Or, you know, you wait for your perfect pullback and you wait for this kind of scenario, but flipped and kind of pulling back in there. Again, all depends where you see these. If you see these at highs, if you see these at fresh, like 52-week highs, and there's a big short float on a stock, or, you know, a currency pair that's at kind of, you know, multi-month highs, then much more powerful than if it's in a, you know, a few-week range and that's just coming to the top of the range. But that's now taking things a little bit, you know, extra step. These are 4 candlestick patterns I think are well worth learning, understanding who's behind it, why it's doing what it is. And like I say, any market, and most time frames, but a daily is a little bit better. Take care, bye-bye.